Hello, everyone. This is Frank Demore with the Last Chronicles of Planet Earth, and today is December the 2nd, 2011. And if you're just found my YouTube channel, I would like to invite you to go to my prophecy site, BibleProphecyMan.com. And when you scroll down, you'll see the front and back cover of my book, and below it, there's a link. You click the link, and you can download the documentary for free. Now, I'm going to cover very briefly because my time is booked today, so I won't have too much time to give you the news. But some of the news that I am going to share with you is extremely important right now because it shows us the footprints of Revelation chapter 13, verses 16 through 17. Now, if you're unfamiliar with this verse, this is where Jesus Christ tells us and shows us that the Antichrist will control the earth. How is he going to do this? Well, the scripture tells us that nobody will be able to buy or sell, say he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. And that's in reference, the beast is the Antichrist. So we know that in the last days, those people who do not worship or do not follow the Antichrist, both in the economic world and also in the, you could say, in the political arena, because there is a one world government that will be a military controlled government by the Antichrist. And so what I'm going to ask you to do, instead of me trying to tell you what I'm going to ask you to do is watch the videos, okay? Watch the videos about the law that was just passed, and I put up several videos there, and this is a disturbing news. It will be disturbing for many people, especially those who really love the freedom of the United States. And so you'll see that, first of all, it says there has been considerable confusion over the past few hours as to whether the Senate, which passed the National Defense Authorization Act, included the last-minute waiver to protect American citizens from the bill's more outrageous and fascist elements, including the right of the U.S. government to detain citizens, even those on American soil, and not charged with a crime, indefinitely in military prison. This means that peaceful protesters could be rounded up, dishonestly labeled as potential terrorists or suspects, and imprisoned for life without trial or eternity. Now, again, I believe that we are seeing the footsteps of this one world government coming to play. And if this can happen in the United States, where they come up and they can call any military to pick up people who haven't even caused crimes yet and imprison them without trial, then if it can happen in America, you bet it's going to happen everywhere else. Now, I give you some links that you could look at, and also I put a video of one of the gentlemen who actually sent out and gave some information instead of me doing a video. He did a great presentation here, so please look at that. Now, also what I'd like to do is share with you some of the things that have been happening with the Last Chronicles ministry. I've been blessed by meeting a gentleman by the first name of Francis in Kenya. And we partnered up together, and I've been giving Francis my teachings and my videos, and they have my free book, The Last Chronicles of Planet Earth, and it's beginning to sweep through Africa, section at a time, through these people. And right now, we have a total of 23 people that are working with the Last Chronicles ministry that have my free books there and that are warning people about the last days. Now, Francis has been a blessing to me because Francis took the message that I gave to him and he brought it into a medical college, if you can believe it, in Kenya. And so I did a special presentation for my brother in Kenya to bring to the medical college, and this is a picture that he sent to me today of the medical college there in Africa. And so you'll see the message down here that when you go to my website, you read that message, it's a blessing. And God is working through the ministry and the labor of love that I've given to him, and now I'm seeing the fruits. Now, I want to thank anyone who's been on my prayer team, who's been praying about this, and those that the Lord has touched to bless me so that we can bless these people in Africa who are seriously hungry for the word of the Lord. Now, on the next front, I want to turn to the Turbo Church. Now, we've been working, Timothy Moore and myself, a brother of mine who I partnered up with, to build churches in Africa. We've connected, or I've been able to connect with Francis and also with Pastor Titus in Kenya. And Pastor Titus is reaching out, and one of the churches that we're help building in that area would be the Turbo Church. And this is what it looked like. But the Lord has blessed us, and now we have the funds, and we sent the funds. So at this time, this is what the church looked like. And I'm waiting expectantly for the next set of pictures, because this church is almost done now, and the walls are in there. They have the benches, and God is bringing in the people to be saved. So this is totally a blessing. Now, on the next note, because of time that I have with other churches today that will be preaching Jesus Christ for this weekend, I am going to set up a conference call, and it will start today at 12 noon California time. And if you would like to participate in my conference call, the Prophecy Conference Call, you can call this number 209-647-1600. And if you've never been involved in a prophecy call, when you call, it's going to ask you to put in your code. And once you put in the code, which you see here, that code will put you right into the conference call. And then if you miss it, you can always use this number at a later time to listen to the conference. So I welcome everybody to come. It's going to be a conference that may last an hour, maybe a little bit longer, depending how many people come and how many questions and the time that I have allotted before I have to take off to do the preaching for Jesus. And so what I want to just remind you now is we are living in a really precarious time. And one of the signs in the last days that we're looking for, there's a war that's going to be taking place. That war will happen in the not too distant future, and it's found in Ezekiel chapter 38 and 39. And that tells us in that chapter that Russia is going to lead an attack on Israel in the last days. Russia will be bringing their allies, of which is Iran. We see Ethiopia, Libya, Turkey, and many other nations. And you can see that in my book. You'll see it at the Attack of Israel in my book when you download it. But I want to show you one of the significant events, because this man, Putin, is as you can see here, it says Putin repairs the Russian Empire, or prepares the Russian Empire to strike back. The reincarnation of the current PM as president poses a challenge to the Western powers for which they seem ill prepared. He's made a comeback, and he's going, to my knowledge, it looks like he's going to be, again, taking the reins of the Russian government, and he is going to move aggressively around the world. Now, I believe in my heart, at least I have a strong feeling in my heart, that this man may just be the man who was prophesied in the Ezekiel war that says he will bring the Russians down along with Iran, Turkey, and these other nations against Israel. So one of the things that you would be wanting to watch for is the acceleration of this man's empire and what he does in the Middle East, because he's going to be aggressive. And so one of the things you like to read, if you will, it's a fairly long article, but it's well worth it. Elements of Putin's strategy to make Russia great again are slowly coming into focus. Much of the plan is defined by Russia's opposition to the U.S., the traditional foe. Thus, the Kremlin announced last week that it would renounce renounced the Strategic Arms Reduction Treaty, known as the New START, agreed with Washington 2 years ago if the U.S. did not abandon its European missile defense plans. So here we go. It's almost like we're going back in to the Cold War with a nation that has been prophesied to come against Israel. These are very significant news articles that are coming out that point to what's happening or what is going to happen in the near future. So again, please, it is very, very important to keep on the watch. Definitely keeping on the watch. Now, I'd like to scroll up here one more time again and just ask you to please, if you can, read the entire article, watch these tapes about this military-style government that's coming, because both of these things are connected. We know that there's going to be a military crackdown to give one man the rule and authority to rule the world, and signs like giving Americans, or taking Americans' freedoms away without even a crime being committed, definitely shows us we're on the path to fulfill soon Revelation chapter 13, verses 16 through 17.